Good evening and welcome to the Channel Studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5. The former president of South Africa and the last white person to lead the country has died at the age of 85 from lung cancer.
I, Frederik Willem de Klerk, do swear to be faithful.
F.W. de Klerk became head of state in September 1989 at a time when racial segregation was deeply entrenched in South Africa and police violence against protesters was common and brutal.
And more.
His government dismantled the apartheid system, introducing universal suffrage, with his reforms allowing the release of the imprisoned activist Nelson Mandela.
It has been said the future of South Africa largely...
Mr. de Klerk later shared the Nobel Peace Prize with Mr. Mandela for helping to negotiate an end to apartheid, although his role in the transition to democracy remains highly contested. He died at his home in Cape Town. The Chinese Communist Party has passed a historical resolution cementing Xi Jinping's status in political history. It was passed at the 6th plenary session, one of China's most important political meetings. The document, a summary of the party's 100-year history, addressed its key achievements and future directions. It is only the third of its kind since the founding of the party. The first was passed by Mao Zedong in 1945 and the second by Deng Xiaoping in 1981. Meanwhile, a Hong Kong activist known as Captain America 2.0 for holding the superhero's shield at rallies has been jailed for nearly 6 years under the controversial national security law. Ma Chun-man was convicted of inciting secession by chanting slogans promoting Hong Kong's independence from China. He is the second person to be jailed under the law, which was passed in 2020 after protests the previous year. The European Union will extend sanctions against Belarus for the escalating migrant build-up at the border with Poland. It's after the German Foreign Minister Heiko Maas met the Belarusian opposition leader Svetlana Tikhanovskaya to discuss the need to fight human trafficking. Meanwhile, Russia has denied any involvement in the border crisis. The head electrician on the film set where Alec Baldwin accidentally shot dead cinematographer Helena Hutchins last month is suing the actor and other crew members over the incident. Serge Svetnoy, a friend of Hutchins, is alleging negligence that resulted in severe emotional distress. He says the bullet narrowly missed him. Authorities are still investigating the 21st of October incident in New Mexico.
I still cannot believe that she is not longer with us. My heart was torn when her mother crying in my arms, asking how to survive the loss of her child. What a terrible tragedy and injustice when a person loses her life on film set while making art.
At least 14 people have died after days of heavy rain pounded the Indian southern state of Tamil Nadu. The state capital of Chennai has seen extensive flooding. Footage shows the interior of hospitals and rescue workers trying to remove trees. Meanwhile, some areas in Sri Lanka have also been battered by heavy rainfall, with flooding killing at least 25 people. According to the government, most of the victims drowned. Rising waters have destroyed houses and many major roads. Rains are expected to ease in the next 2 days, with the low-pressure area moving towards the Indian coast. NASA's SpaceX has launched 4 astronauts into space for the so-called Crew 3 mission. The crew blasted off from NASA's Kennedy Space Center in Florida, leaving a reddish fireball glow. In just 10 minutes after liftoff, the rocket's upper stage delivered the crew into orbit. It's the 5th human spaceflight, and it brings the number of astronauts SpaceX has launched to 18. And finally, country music stars have starred at the 55th Annual Country Music Association Awards. The event was live for the first time since the COVID-19 pandemic, after last year's awards were held remotely. The red carpet was graced with famous faces such as Jimmy Allen and Jennifer Hudson. And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the Channel Studios in Lagos.